Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Limitless Healing. I think we're on episode 12 today. So I'm really excited to bring this information to you. I wasn't sure what I was going to be talking about today until I actually drove out to Ohio yesterday to adjust some patients, and I was listening to some mindset stuff driving there, driving back. So figure 2 hours there, 2 hours back, I was able to absorb quite a bit of information, and so I wanted to share that with you. So that's ultimately what's on my heart today. So the topic is limited versus limiting mindset. Limited versus limitless mindset. And so what does that mean? So some people have called it, having an abundant mindset or a poverty mindset. But for the purpose of the show, since it's limitless healing, why not talk about limited versus limitless mindset? So why is this important? Ultimately, we have what's called the power of the subconscious mind. So when we have the information, we have the knowledge of how powerful our subconscious mind is, it can bring things into fruition without our conscious mind getting in the way. So when we have a limited mindset, what that's going to do is constantly be cutting us short. Whether that's financially, whether that is physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We're going to be limited. We're going to put a cap on every single feeling and emotion that we experience in life. It's not a good way to live. Because, again, with the power that's inside of us, our innate intelligence can repair anything across the board. Just like if I cut my hand, I know that I don't have to consciously think about healing my hand. Literally, I have a hole in my hand right now from accidentally burning it. Okay? My body's healing this right now, and I'm not thinking, hey, I needed this to blister up. I needed it to peel off. I need that little slit in the middle to be able to reseal again and then scab over again. I didn't think about any of that stuff. I let my body do that. So what's the difference between my mind or my body healing my finger versus my body healing cancer or, hot topic, COVID? What's the difference? It's our thoughts. It's how we perceive our body's ability to be able to handle certain struggles. So if we don't believe that our body is capable of being able to heal, then we're 100% going to be right 100% of the time. But if we believe that our body can heal with 100% certainty and 100% confidence, we are also right. Now, this isn't just this weird woo-woo witchcraft crazy stuff. It's true. This is science. All right? They've been trying to study this stuff for a really long time. We don't see this in mainstream. Why? They don't want you to know this stuff. They don't want you to. The book that I'm reading, and I think I've read it about 10 times, goes all the way back from when I worked in Dr. Zano's office down in Houston. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Okay, by Joseph Murray, I believe is his name. Yeah, Joseph Murphy. This guy, right here. Okay, and apparently I'm backwards. But this book, switch this around. There you go. This book right here is absolutely life-changing. It goes all the way back into pre-anesthesia, pre-all of this stuff, and how there was a guy named Dr. Mesmer who would slow people into a hypnosis state and suggest that their bodies were capable of healing. No infections were going to come post-surgery, and he had the lowest post-infection rate, lowest post-infection, the highest success rate for surgeries, and he used zero anesthetics. They didn't know anything. Okay, that's why Dr. Mesmer, they call it mesmerizing, is because of that exact thing that would happen. And they couldn't understand it. And so I'm going to kind of tap into why it's so important to crack that egg on the limited mindset, because whether you're a doctor who's coaching with me and you have a limited mindset of what you're able to achieve, or whether you're a patient who, maybe you've had some struggles in health along the way and you've just been beat down ultimately, because that's what medicine does, that's what medical doctors do, they beat you down to a point where you don't have any faith in your body at all, and you put more faith in a chemical medication or vaccine than you do in your body's ability to be able to heal. And so it's important to have that pivot, that 180 degree pivot into the exact opposite direction. And I'm not saying that it necessarily needs to be just like that. It doesn't have to be an aggressive 180. You can slowly start 10 degree turn, another 10, another 10, another 10. And the more you practice this, it's like working a muscle. The more you practice this, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to right the ship. Because ultimately, you are the author, you are the finisher of your experiences. So if you want to be healthy, you have to first admit that it's a possibility for you to be able to be healthy. If you want to be successful in life, you have to admit that there's a possibility for you to be successful in life. And another thing, I've been talking to Zeno a lot. One of the things that Dr. Zeno said that stuck in my mind for as long as I can remember is, if it's happened once to one person on this entire world at any point in time, if somebody is cured from fill in the blank, if somebody has went from poverty to millionaire or billionaire status, then it's on the table. It's possible for other people to achieve it. Right? So if you know a friend who had a miraculous healing, guess what? You could have one too. It's true. You have to believe it fully, 150,000%, that your body is capable of healing. Or again, as a doctor, your body or your office is capable of being successful. Put that energy out there. You're like a giant magnet. If you're throwing out negativity and death and despair, you're going to get a lot of that in return. Okay, it's like a boomerang. Throw it, zoop, comes right back. You get a ton back. Or you could throw positivity out there, and you don't have to, be overly aggressive with it, but you can throw it out there, and guess what? You're going to get some more positivity back in return. So I'm going to break down some of these principles, how to kind of achieve this stuff, how to maintain it, because I think it's massively powerful, especially with what's happened through 2020. Okay? Because 2020 has been a nightmare for a lot of people. It's true. Okay? So we have to teach you how to right the ship. So let's go into this. So your body, there's a lot of what we're going to focus on is going to be the subconscious mind. Your body has the ability to have access to your conscious mind, which is what we think, what we know, what we mentally are kind of tapping into, what we experience. Our subconscious mind is a slave to our conscious mind. I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to slow it down so that way it can really kind of stick for you. And I do think it's just important to keep talking about. Your subconscious mind is what orchestrates everything in our body. It's what causes our body to heal. It's what causes my thumb to heal. It's what causes me to be able to breathe, think, blood to pump, heart to beat. That is your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is like if you have a castle and you have a moat and you have a drawbridge. So you have negativity coming to you, okay? And we have the drawbridge up. And the drawbridge drawer, I can say that because I read Dr. Seuss to my son all the time, the sleep book. The drawbridge drawer is already sleeping, whatever. His drawbridge is already up. So the drawbridge is up. This is our conscious mind. Conscious mind. And now if a thought comes in, it's up to the drawbridge drawer to drop the bridge down and let that thought pass into our subconscious mind. So if we crank that back up again, okay, say we have a negative diagnosis, right? Say we get diagnosed with cancer. You have your wall up, and you believe that doctor 1,000 trillion gazillion % that your time frame to live is 3 months. Okay? You believe it. The drawbridge drawer believes it. He drops it down. Thought goes in. Boom. Hits the subconscious mind. You close the gate again. You basically just consumed your own death. Because your subconscious mind says, oh, awesome. So I have something to do. I'm a really hard worker. And so I needed something to work on. And so you told me that we're going to die in 3 months. Okay, let's make it work. How am I going to destroy this body in 3 months to make sure that we can't live? Okay, there's science behind this. This isn't just weird woo-woo stuff. There's actual science behind this. And this is why this is so important. Okay, so again, we go back to that same thought. We get the diagnosis that we have 3 months to live. Okay, and we have the thought, boom, butt up against our drawbridge, and our drawbridge drawer is like, nah, I don't think so. Nope, not believing it. Nah, we're not going to die from this. This is nothing, not a big deal, move on. So what we did was we stopped our perception of something negative, and we introduced a positive thought. Okay, boom, we get hit with a cancer diagnosis. Ooh, okay. How can we perceive this? How can we make this positive? Well, if you're a weird person like myself, okay, if we get hit with that diagnosis, we just got caught with our pants down again, living maybe a toxic lifestyle. All right? So if we've been toxic, we can be like, oh my gosh, thank you God so much for this opportunity. You know, I've been going down towards sickness and disease for many, many years. Now I have this opportunity. I can start regaining my health again. So let's do that. Okay, so negative thought hits, boom. Cancer, you're going to die 3 months. Nope, don't think so. Let's reword that. Let's get a positive thought. Thank you for allowing me to have an opportunity to change what route I'm on, do a little course correction so that way I can go towards health and abundance. Cool. Drawbridge jar comes down. I'm going to survive. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to change my lifestyle. Awesome. Boom. Subconscious mind is going to choose to do what it needs to make sure we survive and thrive in these situations. Now, I'm not saying that these negative thoughts won't come back to the drawbridge again, but the more we exercise our right to choose what we perceive, the stronger our reactions are going to be, and we're going to have such a strong subconscious mind because it's constantly being inundated by positivity that those negative thoughts won't even have a chance against the drawbridge. Okay? It's really important because, again, what we tell our subconscious mind, it will orchestrate it. It will. Science says so. Okay, the science is settled. It is on that. Okay, so orchestrate it. Tell your subconscious mind what to do and what you want out of life, and you're going to put it out there. It's going to bring it back in return. Because ultimately, we're just energy. We throw the energy out there. We attract it. It's going to come back. We're going to get it. Okay. There's been a lot of times this has happened in my life where I just put some things out there, I tap into the subconscious mind, and then within a couple of days, I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Okay? And it's kind of creepy how it works, but in a way, it's awesome because then it reinforces the fact that, hey, this is right. This isn't crazy stuff. This is stuff that we can actually use and use in our life. It's not hard. Again, I'm going to teach you how to use this stuff, and there's a real easy strategy, and it's not rocket science either. It's you talk to yourself. It's self-talk. Okay? All right. So again, ultimately what we perceive is going to become our reality. All right? So say somebody comes into our office and I'm like, listen, we have a terrible stool test read here. We have multiple infections. We have mold toxicity. We have this. We have that. It's going to cost X amount of money. You have a couple of options. Okay? Number one, you're going to have to clean your house. That could cost, $10,000. I've heard up to $70,000 to clean the house. You have that option. You also have the option to be able to go through with a care plan, get things taken care of, run some tests, take some supplements, clean out the body. Okay? So you have a couple of options with perception. You can say, oh my gosh, it's such I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm going to have to spend this money. I can't believe I'm going to have to clean my house. I didn't think this would happen to me. Oh my gosh. Or you can spin it around and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for leading me, not to me. Thank you so much, divine power, God, whatever, whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, for directing me down to this pathway. Because had I not found out that I had these infections or I had this infection in my home, this could have been far worse than what we caught it at right now. So I'm going to put it out there that I'm going to have money, I'm going to have financial means brought to me to be able to afford the care, to clean the house, to clean my body, and be healthy and well. See? Two totally different perceptions of one event. It's just like putting me on a football field. I would love it. I would thrive on that. I miss it. I do miss it a lot. But if you put my wife on the football field, if you put Megan on the football field, she might do a little cheer or something for you, but she's going to be freaked out if you put her under center trying to figure out how to run a play. All right, I would thrive in that situation. She would not. Okay? So, and no offense, Megan, I love you, but you wouldn't. We know that. You're not a big fan of football, and that's okay. But I'm telling you, there's different ways to perceive the same exact event. Okay? So, the other thing that I want to throw out there to you guys is that words and situations have no meaning until we assign meaning to them. So words and situations don't have any meaning until we assign a meaning to them. Okay? You choose to give somebody's words power over your body. Okay? You choose to perceive a situation as positive or negative. Okay? You have the ability to be able to choose that. Remember the drawbridge example. Put that bridge up. Keep it up until you personally allow for the drawbridge to come down and accept that thought as truth, or accept those words as truth. Okay? Because a lot of people, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That's a lie. Words can destroy you if you allow them to. But more often than not, okay, I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say to me, whatever bounces off me and sticks to you. More often than not, it's just that you're holding this giant mirror up in front of you of whether it's a direct image of what is wrong with themselves, or there's a hint of jealousy on their behalf towards what you've been able to achieve. And the funny thing is, they can achieve what you've achieved if they want to. It's just a matter of mindset. Okay? So remember, if somebody says, I hate you, you're disgusting, or whatever it is, say, oh my gosh, that person must be hurting pretty bad. They chose to say those words to me instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm going to accept those. Like, oh, maybe I am. It's like, oh man, I'm going to have to pour some love into that person. They must be hurting pretty bad. Two totally different ways to perceive a situation. Okay? Let's see what else. You can build, okay, this is again talking to limited versus limitless mindset. You can build an entirely new body in 11 months if you choose to. And that's with cell turnover, tissue turnover, overall orchestration of healthy habits. 11 months. So in under a year, you can literally make 2021 the healthiest year if you choose to. A lot of that starts right here. It starts with that mindset. So we clear out those negative thoughts. We start putting some positivity in replacement of those negative thoughts, and we can really move forward on a proper trajectory of health and well-being, and not limited poverty and just, hiding away. Okay, we have the choice to be able to enjoy life. Everybody does. 150,000%. Keep using that percentage. I'm not really sure why. That number just keeps coming to me. Okay, so you can choose that. Now the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, for patients or for doctors out there, being healthy is normal. Being healthy is normal. Being unhealthy is abnormal. Healthy, normal. Unhealthy, abnormal. So if you're unhealthy, something abnormal is happening. It's not normal to have cancer. It's not normal to have diabetes or heart disease or COVID. It's not. You're unhealthy. So how do we flip that around? We choose to be healthy. We choose to change our mindset. We choose to make positive lifestyle habits. I remember about 95% of diseases out there is due to chronic lifestyle mismanagement. It's a poor freaking lifestyle. Change it. You know what to do. Don't eat crap food. I don't need to tell you this stuff. You know what you should and should not have. When you pull into the McDonald's drive-through line, I don't need to be chirping in your ear, hey, so-and-so, don't eat that. You know what you should and shouldn't be eating at this point. There's some macros and things that, I can help to orchestrate things with for you, but at the end of the day, if you're stopping through the drive-through line, you're not trying to be healthy. You can't tell me you're afraid of COVID and you drive through McDonald's and you go and get your ice cream sundaes and, you have about 15 pounds of sugar in your coffee with your dairy creamer, and you can't sit there and try to tell me that I need to wear a mask and that COVID is going to kill you. No, your terrible lifestyle habits are going to kill you. It's not COVID. It's not Trump that killed you. Trump didn't tell you to eat that donut. Okay? Start taking personal responsibility. And I'm not saying hate yourself for what you did. You can pivot at any point in your life. Think about these miraculous healings that take place, especially, I always talk about cancer. Think about that. You have people who are like, you know what? I got a cancer diagnosis. I'm just going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to get more fruits and veggies in. I'm going to avoid the bad foods, avoid the fast foods, and I'm just going to start working out. I'm going to get outside. I'm going to have some meditation. And guess what? Boom. Cancer's gone. They're like, Doc, how is that possible? Well, they changed their negative habits. They changed their negative lifestyle, and their body then adapted to fit a healthy person. When you make healthy life decisions, your body reflects that in health. When you make poor life decisions, your body reflects that as poor health. So again, ultimately up to you. What do you want? Do you want to have a limited mindset where you don't believe that your body can heal and that you're just subject to every single diagnosis that's tossed at you? That sucks. Why would you want that? Or do you want to have that positive, limitless mindset when you say, oh, cool, just another little speed bump on the road. Just another, course correction. Maybe I neglect, I started really well at 2020, and then all of a sudden, with the lockdowns and things like that, I was going to the gym, I was eating healthy, and now I'm just stuck inside. I gained the COVID-15. You're like, what do I do now? Go back to what you know. Eat healthy, exercise. If you can't get to the gym, okay, depending on what state you're in, then get a beach body routine, or just do some push-ups and some crunches or planks or pull-ups. There's plenty of things that you can do. You're just being limited by your own limited thoughts instead of thinking limitless. How do I make this work? This situation might suck right now. How do I make it work? How do I survive and thrive through this? You have the ability to be able to do and choose whatever you want. That's the best part. There are no wrong decisions in life. There's just decisions. And if you feel like you made a wrong decision, you learn from it. And guess what? You have the option, the choice to make another decision. It's pretty easy. So we go through life making decision after decision after decision. We just have to kind of stack them up. Are we making decisions going towards health and well-being and limitless thoughts? Or are we going towards death and despair and limited thoughts? It's up to you. So you either accept healing or you reject it. Okay? Remember, your subconscious mind can't decide for you. Your subconscious mind isn't like an extra person in the back saying, no, whatever you do, don't send that thought this way. Please don't. Nope. As soon as you accept that in your heart, in your mind's eye, you accept it as truth, boom, your subconscious mind builds it. Now you can throw another thought in there after, like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Let me reword that, let me rephrase that, let me rebuild that and send that over to my subconscious mind. The quicker you can autocorrect, that'd be a great feature, right? If our brains came with autocorrect. Are you sure you want to say that, Jacque? No. Let's switch it. So you can switch it. So when and how do we put these principles in play? Start small if you want to. You gotta sound like my son. If you want to, start small. How do we override something that we feel is so strong in our bodies, which is our conscious mind? How do we override this? We take it out of commission. When do we take it out of commission? You can do it right before you go to bed. Everything out there, in order to try to tap into the subconscious mind, is the most powerful when your conscious mind is ready to either go to sleep or it's just waking up. So right before you go to bed, if you get into a meditative state, calm down. You can be laying in bed. You can just let things kind of come to you just slowly. Okay? And then you can say, however you want or whatever you want, whatever your body is, it will accept that as truth, and it will give your subconscious mind something positive to work on while you're asleep. If you go to sleep and you have the news on, and you go to sleep thinking that you're going to die here in 2 days from COVID because the infection rates are through the roof, then your body will accept that as truth. And even if you don't get exposed to COVID, you can develop symptoms of COVID because you think that you have it. You've seen it enough. Or you can say, I am so healthy. I am so blessed. Thank you so much for giving me a strong immune system to be able to ward off any infections, any disease, any viruses that could ever come across me. I pray that you have the same things for my family members. Protect them. Keep them safe through these tough times. Go to sleep. Okay? Or if you have an ailment, visualize. Visualization is huge too. You can pray and you can visualize over what that healing looks like to you and what your life would look like after that healing has been done. Wake up in the morning. You can say a similar prayer, little mantra in there as well. Start your day off positive and tap into that subconscious mind before your conscious mind ever has a chance to really fully wake up. Really easy to do. You can start this tonight. You can do it with your husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend. It's fun. Have fun with it. Throw something crazy out there and think about it every single night. Visualize it. See if it comes back. Or see when it comes back. If it doesn't, make sure that your conscious mind isn't getting in the way of you believing that it could happen. You don't want to say, I want a Lamborghini, and you wake up in the morning like, I can't believe I wish for a Lamborghini. I'm never going to get that. That's going to be way out of my price range. I could never afford that. Guess what? You just rewired everything that you just tried to work on overnight. So you have to accept it. You have to believe it as truth. Okay? Start doing that. Start small, start big, start wherever you want, but start putting those things into play. Shoot, pray for a good night's sleep. What does a good night's sleep feel like for you? See how that starts portraying your health for the next day. Okay? So, at the end of the day, I want everyone to push towards a limitless mindset. Again, whether that is coming to your health, I want you to know that your body is capable of healing from anything. Or whether it's wealth, if you say that you can't afford certain things, or you want a dream house and you can't, and you throw it out there that you can't get it or it's not attainable, I want you to change that thought to say, I'm not sure how I'm going to obtain that, but I know that I'm going to, and believe it as truth. For my patients out there, same thing goes for you guys. If you're coming to me for infertility, you're coming to me for balancing hormones or helping with gut issues, I want you to visualize before you go to bed what it feels like to have that health back again. Do that every single night, without fail, and see how long it takes before you get on that road to health. So that's my little quick tip, if you will, for the day. I hope this sticks with you guys. If you think I'm crazy, then it's probably your first time tuning in. So thank you, everyone. If you know somebody who needs to hear or see this information, then by all means, share it with them. But until next time, until next Saturday, I love you all. Have an awesome weekend.